Hello and welcome everyone, this is Dmitry. We are having another network programmability stream, but it's a special edition because we are having a marathon. And we are going to have a stream every day or almost every day since December 23rd, 2019 until I think like January 6th or something like that. I may skip a day or two, like depending on my personal schedule, but I will target doing streams daily. So obviously they will be shorter in time. So unlike I tend to, when I do them on Sundays, they usually last for around 3 hours. So these daily ones, I will do my best to keep them shorter. So like until 2 hours probably. 1.5 to 2 hours is my estimate. And yeah, the idea is very similar. It's just we're going to stream every day. So if for some reason you have absolutely nothing to do during your Christmas break and you want to learn something or just spend some time in a company of other like-minded folks, you're very welcome to join. And thank you so much for coming today. I do appreciate you. So couple of things to discuss like we usually do, but very briefly. So we had a stream yesterday about serverless with Google Cloud Run, and I was like thinking afterwards about it, and I'm still kind of amazed by it. I do think it was so much easier than I expected it to be, and it worked pretty well. So I'm impressed. I can recommend. If you haven't seen it, please do check recording. I just published it today in the afternoon. So it's available on my YouTube page. So yeah, very impressed by Google Cloud Run, very interesting service, very useful, and I do have a couple of ideas for my personal projects to host there. Another one, yesterday I mentioned that I had a copyright claim, my first one on YouTube for a song used. After I wrote to them, it was actually resolved, so the problem is no longer there, which is awesome. And last thing, also I mentioned yesterday, I ordered Elgato Stream Deck Mini. It's like a very small device with a button, and buttons have LCD screen. And the idea is that it's kind of like for streaming mostly, where you can program the button and they have like they change context depending on the app as well. So because I'm using a single monitor for my streaming, it's very hard for me to do all the controls, recording, microphone, all of that, switching scenes. So I finally bought this device. It should arrive tomorrow probably, or even today, and that's very exciting because you will not need to see this background Streamlabs OBS sometimes appearing on the screen, and it's kind of weird to see that. So I'm very happy about that. All right, let's jump into today's topic. So for this marathon, at least for the week one, depending how fast or how slow we are going to be, the projects that I had in mind was the following. For a really long time, I wanted to test performance of different tools, different network automation tools. In particular, Ansible, Python when using Nornir, and Python when using asyncio, and then also Golang. And I wanted to see how well they perform on very big topologies. Okay, when I'm talking about big topologies, I'm talking about thousands of devices. I was really curious to do this kind of testing, because I always keep mentioning that Nornir is so much faster than Ansible, blah blah blah, and I have zero doubts that it's the case. But having a hard evidence, and I want to do this kind of testing, document my results, write a blog article, and have it like as a reference point. So like whenever people ask me again about like Ansible versus whatever, then I could just, you know, link them to the blog article, to like some kind of table or something, and like, so that they can see for themselves, not necessarily believe what I have to say, right? Now, me personally, I don't care about Ansible that much. I'm not using it. I gave up on the tool. I do think it's not a proper, it's not a good tool for network automation, to be honest. So like, I personally don't care about Ansible at all, but what I care about among the tools that we are going to test is Nornir versus Python asyncio. This is what is really I'm very curious about. Like, is there a big difference when we will be using asyncio instead of Nornir? And when I say Nornir, I mean threads, right? This is like, I'm just very curious about that part. Yeah, so this is like my personal motivation for doing it. If you have any good ideas to do during the marathon or not during the marathon, please do let me know via any means of communication. I will be happy to do it if it's interesting for me as well. Okay, so by the way, there was some testing done recently by Patrick Augenstadt, Nornir, Ansible, but no, not this one, speech challenge, this one. And Patrick, if you are listening to this, hello to you and thanks for writing this. So Patrick did some testing, but this particular testing is done with the files themselves. So there was a big inventory, and there were a bunch of files, like the host vars file, and the testing was specifically for that, like how much time does it take to load all of the variables in your program. And even there, like when we were talking about like Nornir versus Ansible, the difference was ginormous, right? So there was like 10,000 devices in the inventory with 10,000 YAML files, and Ansible took to load like 41 minutes, and while Nornir took less than a second or so. Oh no, not true, like 17 seconds. So 17 seconds compared to like 40 minutes, sorry. And this is just files. There was no connections done whatsoever. What I'm curious is actually doing tests with connections. So this is what we are going to do. Probably majority of today we are going to just focus on building the lab, because building a lab with 10,000 devices is not easy. It's not easy at all. So I was thinking about approaches that we could take, and let me bring up my GNS3. So I have here, so I will be using iOS on Linux, or IOL, how it's known in the community. Please do not ask me where I can get an image, because if you are a Cisco employee, you can ask. If you are not a Cisco employee, don't even ask. So we'll be using IL because they have very small footprint on the system. So I have here GNet3 VM, and let me see how many resources I allocated. Maybe we may need to allocate more. So I have 8 processors. I probably need to do more, and 48 gigs of RAM. We may adjust this as we go forward, so I don't know. But first we have to obviously build the lab. And I am not, yeah, I have to configure this one. What I wanted to change was this symbol. Let's say affinity circle blue router. Yes, okay. So I have this one. Now another thing that we'll definitely need to do is change the startup config. I'm very curious where it doesn't get this config. I think it's actually somewhere on the server. So yeah, we have to provision this 1000 devices. Well, first we have to build the topology, like design with IP addressing and stuff. And then second, we will have to provide configs. And I was really thinking like how to do it the most efficient way. And I don't have an answer for that. So I was thinking about like, what if we connect, so if you connect the device, we build a DHCP server somewhere, right? And then we will send a host name from the box in DHCP discover. And then based on this discover, we will assign an IP address. So thinking about that, but I actually don't know how to do it. So it's very likely that even on the step of building a lab, you may need to refer to some of these ZTP stuff, at least part of it, but I'm just not sure at this moment, to be fair. So let's try first building the topology, right? So I have here, where is this? I have here Lucid chart. Let's call it network automation tools performance testing topology. We have to come up with like IP addressing and how many devices per subnet and stuff like that. So I don't want to. Okay, first let me start with cloud. So I have cloud, right? And give me a second, guys. Okay, custom VMnet 1. Okay, so I have this host only network. Yeah. So host on cloud, and I probably should make it bigger. Host only network is 192.168.153.100 0/24. Okay, then I have my Ubuntu machine, which kind of like sits nearby in the same host only network. It's 100. Let's connect it here. So this is Ubuntu control station, okay? And this has this is why it keeps doing this? 192.168.153.100/24. It's normal that we don't see anything. No, I'm looking at my stream on another screen and I can see Lucid chart. So let me I have to double check. my networks. Host only Yeah, and there's DHCP here, though I don't need DHCP for this network. Okay, so we have this /24 network. So I was thinking like have then a switch and like this is going to be like just whatever, just switch, right? It will not have any purpose, to be fair. So and then we'll have 10 routers here. So I will not name them right now. And they will have 192, 168, 153, and let's say 101, and so on. Yeah. And then there will be 2, right? And then there is going to be 10. Like this. Okay. So we have these 10 routers which will connect to the cloud and then Ubuntu control station. I don't want to overwhelm this network. What do you think so far? And then, so I have this 10, right? And then if I want 1000, I need 100 behind each. In this way, where we have to start thinking like how we are going to do that. And then provisioning part as well. So what do you think about connecting 100 devices on the same segment? Do you think it's going to be a problem? Or I should actually divide them in groups of 10 and like put. So what I can do is I can put like yeah, I think I could try. So, and okay, let's do us like a master network, right, or something. What's going to be addressing? So I think we'll be using 10 and let's say what 15.00/16, right? If we are going to like this is going to be overall. Let's say main subnet, yeah. Main subnet is 10.15.00/16 /16. And then here, right? Well, I will need to switch with I mean, should not be a problem, right? Switch with 100 ports. Oh boy. I mean, you can try, right? So let's say here is going to be a switch. So we will need what? If I'm using a single switch here, it's going to be 101 port, right? So this is going to be actually router 1, yeah. And then this is going to be 110 uh, hello blah 1. Okay. So this is going to be h10. Yeah. And this is going to be 110. Nornir, can you compare it to Ansible? I mean, have you been using both? Yes, I've been using both. Now I'm not using Ansible anymore after Nornir. If you want to learn more, because on this particular Twitch channel I've been talking about this specific topic for quite a while, there is a recording of one of my presentations. Let me actually find it. Yeah, this one, 2019 San Diego. This has a video. Sure. Okay. So I need this one, yeah. Okay. Right, so yeah, we have it like this. Now probably this switch could be a problem. 100 links to a single switch. That's going to hurt, I guess. Okay, so this one is going to be what, 10, 15, 1, 0/24, yeah? So this is going to be router 1. I would like to be text centered, please. Can I have text in the center? Okay. Okay, so something like this, right? So this is our subnet. Let's put addressing here, right? So this is going to be .1. This is going to be .2. Everything in a single VLAN. VLANs are for weak people. VLANs are so 100 years ago. And then here we'll put what? 254, yeah, or something like this. And this is going to be our one of the segments, right? Okay, and last one. Okay, like this. And so like this. Well, the only problem, yeah, I see that this switch with 100 links. Now, alternative would be we separate them in segments of 10 or 20, right? And then here, I may have like in hierarchy of switches, right? Like put switch for every 10 devices, and then these 10 switches connect to the central switch. This is another thing. We could also like separate them by VLANs and stuff, but this point I don't know. So cool. Now we replicate this whole thing, right? No. So this one is going to be 901, yeah. This subnet is going to be oh wait, this is 1000, yeah. And this is going to be 10. I think something like this. What do you guys think? Yeah, am I making any sense with my lab? So here I will have 10 routers, 10 edge routers connected to my cloud network, and Ubuntu control station is connected there. So we'll be doing testing of our tools from this station, right? From this. Then they all connect to edges. We will need a route from so on this Ubuntu, right? We will need a route towards yeah, we'll need an individual route for every of this subnet, to be honest. Okay. Yeah, we'll need a route there. These ones will need default looking into the edge direction. Yeah. What could also be helpful is links. So this edge are going to be actually routers, and this is going to be unmanaged switch. So like everything here is in VLAN 1. I'm thinking that what would be helpful is this. What do you guys think? So the idea here is that what this will allow us to do, we can configure routing on these guys to exchange the subnets so that they can communicate right through this weird network. Because otherwise the only thing that we are going to have is management. Like, you know, I will not be able, when I'm gathering some details, right, there is nothing else going on, which could be helpful to have like some routes, right, or, you know, something. Okay, I will need static routes here. I may configure routing in this segment. Let me make it. They can Edge is a router, yeah. Why did I connect? Yes, they can go here, but I don't want to configure routing on this subnet because this subnet goes into other VMs, right? So I don't want C updates on the VM net. I want those routes to go only via links, via like GNet3 links, not going via these cloud at all. This is the reason why. And then here I could use something like 10.15 for example, or 10.20, whatever. 0, right? And then do /30s here if I want to. Yeah, I think we are good. My only concern here is the following, is this, right? So I will have a switch with 101 port, and I don't know how 100 routers on single subnet will behave. 100 IL routers. I have doubts that it will work fine. But yeah, we can start testing. Okay, what else do we need? We need to modify config. So I want to, when I boot them up, I want to have some config there, which we can do via GNS3. Now, the only problem though, I don't know where they are stored. I don't think they are here. But I could be wrong. Well, there is this, right? There is this configs. I honestly not sure that this is where they will be taken from. I mean, I can try, right? Can I open it with VS Code here? Yeah. Let me do a copy here. Right, so what do we need? Okay, so host name is being replaced. We have no IP domain lookup, whatever. I do need domain name. We will be using only single interface here. Damn. Let me do a change. Let's just have only two. I think it should be enough. So 8 interfaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. Okay, so I can get rid of this. Okay, line ETY 015. Let's do actually 14. I don't remember how many you have on ILL. I may regret about this, but no, actually I can do that, right? No, I can't do that because every device will boot up with the same IP address. That is going to hurt big time. Don't even ask me why I'm enabling telnet as well. I actually don't think that crypto key command works like this in the startup config, but whatever. Okay, so I need domain name, I need crypto key SSH version 2, I will need IP address here. I think it would be also cool if I have a loopback, because if for some reason we will start doing the routing, right? So let me go back to diagram. What loopback do we want? Considering it's 10,000 devices. I think we will need another subnet, yeah, for loopbacks. So it's 10.14.00/16, right? And then here is going to be let's do loopback 0, yeah, and this is going to be 10.14.1.1/32. And this one will have 100, 100, and this one will have 10, 1, and then this one will have 10, 100. I don't need to add them here. Okay, another thing that I need is I need user. Yeah, I need user. So username Cisco. I forgot syntax. Is it privilege? I can go look in docs. RSU. Okay, it should be here. Wait, what? Hello? What is this link? They are killing me. They are killing me. It has been a long time since I have been doing this kind of stuff. Like looking, I remember my CCIE prep. This is exactly what I was doing. Okay, it's privilege and low. This looks good to me. What do you guys think? You can test. We need to mark interfaces, by the way. Okay, so our management is always going to be E00. Here this one is probably going to be E01. And then interconnects I can put on another thinking, is there an easy way of if I don't do /30s here? Because if I do /30s, then well, it's just 10 devices, so I will manage. Okay, I can connect E10 to E10 on both sides, and then no, it should be always like 10 on one side and then 01 on another side, otherwise it will not work, I think. Whatever. Okay, so I can build what I can build for a test. I would say I would put one router, this one, switch H1, H2, switch cloud Ubuntu. This would be like my first test. Yeah. Okay. I think we could try. Okay, this switch must have 101 port. Let's go. Okay, it didn't crash. That's a good sign, I guess. Okay, so then I have edge one, yeah. Yes. Okay. Now we need to do connection. So H1 on E01 connects. Holy shit. That's some nice list. Okay, let's connect to. Yeah. Okay. Then like this. Then we put cloud. You have to connect it all in the GUI. I mean, I don't have to. I could write a program to do it, but probably I will connect it in the GUI. Because sometimes you have to choose your battles, and I'm not sure that building a script to do it is the right battle for me right now. Okay, this is ETH0. Oh, I need another switch. Actually, no. I can put it here for the future use, but I need to put a new switch because it needs only not many ports. What PC requirements will I need to do this lab? I don't know. I'm not even sure it will work on my computer, but you can check out what computer I have in the description. I don't know if it will work or not, to be honest, but I'm hoping it will. I mean, I can always settle on 100, but that would not be as impressive as 1000. Okay, so I need to connect. Let's do it this way. So first cloud. So it's ETH0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 2. Okay. Okay, cool. So we have a segment, right? Now another piece. Kradev, thank you for following. Yes, now what we have to do oh no. No. God damn, this is bad. I mean, oh, that's very unfortunate. Very unfortunate. Damn. Yeah, it builds config. The second you create device, it builds the config. So that's not cool. That's not cool at all. I want to test something. Hold on. Let me check this. Yeah, this didn't work. God damn. God damn. And the reason it didn't work is because this config file is not on the server. Maybe there are some already defined templates for GNS3 with that number of nodes. I doubt. Yeah, this config didn't work. That's so sad. This makes me mad. This one is just fine. Where is this file, GNS3 controller info? I have to find this file because I am not willing to put my config on every single box with manually. That would be just insane. Oh, I think it should be here. The pass. Yeah, controller is here. And then startup config. I'm curious where the default file is. Yeah, I see it, but I mean, there was some file before, right? So there should be a directory itself somewhere with that config file. It can't just appear from nowhere. Oh boy, this is weird. Are we reading a manual trying to hack the power station? I think both. Okay, I think this should work. Hopefully. So the way we test this is the following. Well, first I have to modify this template, and I do need to provide. Oh, ouch, ouch. Okay, and I put it here. Yes. What do you even mean? Does work? Yeah. Yeah, it works. This is my config. So apparently I have to put file I have to put file locally, and I have to put the same file remotely as well. This weird design. Okay. So this works. The problem though, all these other files, all these other devices, let me delete them. Why am I? Okay. Let's add one. Yeah. And then I connect it here. Yeah. Okay. Cool. And I like this pop-up for my whole monitor. Yeah, I think this should work. Let's see. Oh, there are no lines. No. There are only 0, 4. Okay. But the rest of it worked though, so that's good. Ouch. Okay, and I have to do the same one on the server. Okay, another try. RSI keys can be generated by the startup config. Okay. So I don't have an IP address. What is my SSH version? Okay, and I need to create keys, and it says that I can do it in startup config. Okay, fair. Okay, we will do that, but before I want to test, yeah. I mean, it should work. Should be no problem with that whatsoever. Oh, it's also using incorrect config. So there is that as well. Okay, so let me stop all this, delete all this as well, except all the switches. We have to modify config again. So crypto can be there. I actually can keep IP domain lookup if I want to. Okay, so this can be there. Connection. Ideally, I would want to put VRF management on management interface, but probably in this case it will be not the best idea. Okay, so one more test. Please work. Please. It seems like it did work. So now I would want to configure IP addressing here, right? So So this should be 192.168.153.101. And do I need the default route here? No, I don't need the default route here. So if I ping now, it should work, which it does. However, I don't believe there is SSH version 2 right now, and there is even a key. So if I go to my Ubuntu and I say, oops, and I'm losing my earbuds. I should be able to ping from here as well, which I can. I don't think I can SSH to this right now, at least. Yeah, it doesn't work. So what if we say crypto key generator SA modules 2048, okay, and WR, and now if I connect yes, Cisco, I am in. Okay, cool. Now, next thing that I want to test would be, I want to go here, right? I want to go to this edge router. And I want to say no shut IP address 10.14.1.154. And then I will configure EIGRP here for the 10 network. So router EIGRP 100. And then network 10.0.0.0. So next thing I want is configuring address here. God, I can only imagine how hard it's going to be to do it on 1000 devices manually. That's going to suck big time. Even on the first router, I managed to screw up an IP address. Bravo. Just bravo. (100 EIGRP adjacencies on one link? That would be amazing. Alright, so this works. Oh, we haven't tested one more thing, to be honest. So on this edge router, I should have loopback. Yeah, I should have loopback here as well. Now, there is an issue. not really an issue. I just need a static route on my Linux VM. Linux and static route. Okay, so it's route add. So okay, if I want to go the hard path, right, I would want to like route manually with static routes, or I can just point them to one router, but then we really will depend on routing. God damn. Let's do it properly. Excuse me. Okay, IP route add. Right. So this should allow us connection to 15.1.1. Ouch. This is interesting. Yeah, because I need to inject default route. Yeah, I need the default route here. I forgot how you do it. DHCP default route. Do you have to do static and then redistribute it? We summarize default network, redistribute. Yeah. And now pin works. Okay, so this guy will have a default. Cool. So now I need to add crypto key generator SA. And then this guy, no, this guy should be able to SSH. Which I can. Okay, so all of the stuff is working. There are some moving parts here. Okay, team. So what do you think? Do we want to automate this for 1,000 of devices? And how hard it's going to be? Automate all the things. Okay, so there are two ways I can see us automating it. There is a hard way and there is even harder way. So solution one is we build DHCP server which should distribute IP addresses based on the host name. This option one. Then we can generate configs from the templates very easy. However, this DHCP, actually, I don't know if you can do it. This DHCP, I don't know what server can recognize entries based on the host name, because I don't have like a MAC address, right? Like when I pull a router, I don't know its MAC address. The only thing that like is really unique for the new devices is the host name, because it's set up automatically by GNS3. Another option would be to go even further, but you'll have to expose a lot of internal details. What I mean by that is we would add devices to GNS3 using their API, and then also like put configs that we want manually as well. Read some thread about biggest topologies in GNS3 and 1K doesn't seem realistic, more like 100 before your computer die. I guess I disagree. I'm pretty confident I can get at least 200. 1,000, not sure, but that's what we are doing on the stream. Thank you for the link. Let me check. I mean, I could try this part. Do they all generate the same serial? I don't think they even have serial number. But it doesn't matter with serial number because DHCP server, well, it's not sent in DHCP discover anyway. Yeah, it doesn't have any serial number. I'm willing to test this though. I don't think it will work with client name, but let's try. If this works, then this is amazing. This should be super easy to build. You can create custom reservation DHCP server for each of the routers with unique config file to be returned in option 67. Yes, but how do I identify it on IC DHCP server? I mean, again, the only identifier I have is a host name, and can we actually filter based on that host name in IC? Because if we can do identification, then yes, we can push whatever config we want, but if we don't, then that could become an issue. Actually, I mean, if this works, then it's awesome. But I don't think it will. Yeah, we are not getting this here. I mean, but this is like also not dedicated server. The new router automatically attempts to download configuration file using one of the following methods. If the host specific configuration file with file name was specified by DHCP server, that specific file name is used in TFTP. The new router makes 3 unicast. If host specific configuration was specified, the new router makes 3 unicast TFTP requests for the specified boot file. If the unicast attempt fails, or if TFTP address was not provided, the new router will make 3 broadcast requests to any available TFTP server for the spec. Pass from URL. By default, it should request a TFTP file name matching the host name. Interesting. Yeah, that could work. Hello there. We are building a lab with very big number of network devices to later test network automation tools. And we built the prototype with a couple of devices successfully, but then the question is, how do we scale it for 1,000 of devices? It's going to be painful. Wait, hold on. If I specify anything on DHCP side, right? I can't do it on DHCP side. Because if I provide an IP address, if I provide TFTP address, then I will also need to provide a usual list as well, which I can't do because I don't know which address it should get, right? And the problem right now is identify the device on the DHCP side. And by the way, folks, unfortunately, I will have to bail. Let me double check the time. It's almost 10 p.m. my time, so it should be, hold on. Yeah, unfortunately, guys, I will have to bail now. And this is an interesting problem. I really don't want to do it manually. I think DHCP is the right way, or adding the config files directly, like when we are adding we can add devices directly to the DNS3 via API. So that could be also an option, right? Like I put whatever config I want, I generated config from templates, and then we are golden, hopefully. So yeah, it seems we should be okay. All right. For now, I will have to leave. So today we didn't do a lot of progress, but at least I have this decent diagram with like networking and stuff. DHCP stuff, we still have to figure it out. A small reminder, this is stream marathon, day 1. My target is to do it every day at the same time. Unfortunately, tomorrow I'm off, but for the rest of the week I should be here at 6 p.m. my time, or it's 12 p.m. Eastern or 9 a.m. Pacific. So we will continue working on this lab on Wednesday, but for now, thank you so much for sticking with me, and I hope to see you next time. Goodbye.